Taron, it is a pleasure to talk to you about
You
this
too. Yeah.
exciting thriller. It is so action packed. I love what you did with your character.
Oh, thanks.
But first, let's start by reviving the Die Hard debate.
Yeah.
So, is this a Christmas movie? Or
What do you
not?
think? What do you think?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna take what Danielle told me a couple of minutes ago.
Uh-huh.
This is a Christmaction.
Oh, Chris Maction. She sort of blended the things.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a new thing, and I think she
How
did
about that
well.
action sequence she has in the middle of the film?
Oh my
The one in the
God!
car?
We had the chance to talk about that, and it was amazing.
I wasn't there for that, so I didn't see that. And then I watched the movie, and my mind was blown. She's incredible. It's such a great sequence.
She did so well, but you did as well with your the luggage belt sequence. I was like,
me throwing myself around in the dirt.
So
Yeah.
tell me about that a little bit. About
It was great. So we shot some of that stuff in a real airport on the luggage belts for real, and then they also built some sets so that we could do some of the more physical things in relative safety. I loved it. I enjoy throwing myself around and kind of getting messy, and I really think those bits of the movie. When we were making it, you do all these different sections of it, and you wonder how it's all going to tie together over one day and feel like a condensed story. And the movie just flows so brilliantly, and I'm so pleased with how it turned out. I enjoy action. I find it to be, not something that I ever thought I would get to do in life. So when I'm doing big action sequences in a film, I feel like I've, living the dream.
You made it, okay.
Yeah.
So talking about the direction style of Haumek, which is very well known for his thrillers. How
Yes.
was working with him? Did you know his filmography before?
Yes,
You
I
got
did.
into this one?
I love him. I love Jaume. He's a great guy. He's hugely collaborative. He's very, very diligent and works as hard as any director I've ever worked with. So hard, in fact, sometimes you sort of wonder that he's taking care of himself because he's so laser focused. But he and I have a lovely rapport, and I really, really enjoyed making this movie with him. I would be thrilled to get the chance to work with him again.
Awesome.
He's
So this
awesome.
film, getting to a more serious note, this film also has to deal with some moral dilemmas
Yeah.
and some other threats. So how do you think these topics or these themes connect with the real world?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think obviously we, live in a world where, threats like this loom, and I don't think that's ever going to change. But I think what I love about the film is it's the celebration of the ordinary person, the kind of everyman, and their ability to rise up, or the every woman, And I think it's, for all its kind of the darkness of the story in terms of what happens, I actually think it's got a real vein of positivity that runs through it, and I found it quite life-affirming when I watched it.
What did you learn about becoming a TSA officer that you didn't know? Because one of the things that I love the most about this film is the behind the scenes of everything that happens in at an airport. It was like, wow, it was so crazy. So becoming a TSA officer, what do you learn about what they have to do?
Well, I think I'd already, been privy to enough TSA conversations and seen them have a rough time to know that they have a rough time. In terms of the nitty-gritty of what I learned in preparation when we were doing training, I have to be honest, it was 2 years ago, and I think a lot of it has escaped me. But I really loved the feeling of kind of celebrating those guys, which I think the movie tries to do. So I've already said this a couple of times this morning, but I'm really interested to hear what, next time I travel through LAX, what those guys think of it.
You're going to stop for a minute and ask them,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
So let's talk a little bit about both, or if you have a process of going to a film or into a project, about if it's a character-driven project or more a story-driven project, like this one.
Yeah.
Is there like different processes from the acting perspective?
Yeah, I think so. I think sometimes, as you say, with a more character-driven piece, I think it feels like you're maybe trying to get a little bit toward a character, whereas in a movie like this that, as you say, is very plot-driven, really, you want to try and bring a character towards you and bring as much of you to it as you can. And generally, I think I'm not very good at talking about my process, but I know that when I'm in the run-up to making a movie, I just find that it's all I think about. Okay. My imagination is engaged all of the time, visualizing things, trying to come up with fun ideas for things that will be entertaining or interesting. And this was no exception. I really loved playing the part.
Excellent. Thank you so much.